The Everything Sequel podcast is brought to you by The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards and the Vegas Beer Guys. Mike and Tom are washing their mouths out with soap because the Everything Sequel podcast contains explicit language. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1... Hello and welcome to the Everything Sequel podcast. This is a nightmare edition. Today we're talking Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, the man who wants to put the prehistoric fishies in my brain, Tom Stewart of Whistle Productions. Say hi, Tom.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul, too.
So you like this one more?
Slightly. When you said the title just then, I realized something for the first time. Both parts of the titles are lies. It's not the final nightmare and Freddy's not dead.
Yeah, you're right.
There couldn't be more lies in that title if they tried. None more lies.
None more. Yeah. It's funny, too, because Rachel Talalay, I mean, she was adamant. Like, no, this is it. We're done. Like, we're killing him.
Well, she was sort of describing, this is a behind-the-scenes title. This is what you refer to it as while you're making it, but it's not necessarily the right title for the movie.
For the actual movie,
Everyone knew the agenda was kill Freddy, make this the final nightmare movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they should have, I think the title should be masking that somewhat. Not referring to it. They might have called it working title.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 6, Freddy's Dead, or The Final Nightmare. I'd rather have one of those after the colon.
Well, there's also, you've talked about this before, the elimination of numbers.
Yeah.
Sticking with numbers versus getting rid of them. And
this series is better than most about...
That's it now for numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this series is we've had numbers up until now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's longer than we usually go. What's the first one in the other series that do it? Is it 6 in Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about the same time in Halloween, and in Friday the 13th, I feel like they do it much earlier.
We have the final chapter.
It's still called Friday the 13th?
Yeah, you're right. It's still called Friday the 13th, Part 4. Even because 5 and 6 or 6, and
8. Jason Takes Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
All right. So slashers are pretty good at keeping the numbers going.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was the Turdworm one that took out the numbers.
What's that called?
The new Friday, Jason Takes a Holiday. I don't know what's it called. Jason
abuses Aaron Gray.
It's called The Final Friday, right?
Is it?
Oh, I don't know. It's not called
Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday.
Is there an official colon? I think it's just Jason Goes to Hell.
No, it's not just Jason Goes to Hell. I'm 99% sure. I'm 100% sure there's a subtitle. I'm 99% sure it's The Final Friday. But anyway, none of that matters because the point we're making is still accurate. That's the first one that did away with numbers.
Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday.
Yes!
Vindication.
Teamwork. No, it was teamwork. You came up with the title, I came up with the subtitle. So, that's interesting in and of itself.
Yeah.
Sticking with numbers longer than most.
I guess Halloween's the only one that has never said the final one.
Well, they got Halloween Ends.
Yeah, that seems different, though. That seems like an end to just my precious trilogy.
It's so funny how you initially responded to that trilogy with optimism. That
Yeah.
was then beaten out of you. Whereas
Mhm.
I never had the optimism in the first place, so it was less of a blow to me when we got to
Yeah.
Halloween Ends. I was like, well, it's just nature taking its course, really. This was always a shitty idea, and it remained a shitty idea.
All right, we're here at the end. Not the end of our podcast for this series,
By no means.
but they certainly thought they were at the end with Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, a 1991 film with 22% on Rotten Tomatoes, a full 7% less than the previous movie. So the critics agree with me. Directed by Rachel Talalay.
We both know, having listened to that episode about Rotten Tomatoes, that critics is not the right term to use.
She's done some other stuff, including Ghost in the Machine and Tank Girl, but mostly she's moved into television and is still doing that. Ally McBeal, Supergirl, Doctor Who episodes.
Wait, which Doctor Who did she direct?
I don't know. And Riverdale.
How recently did she direct Doctor Who?
All right, sir. If it's that important to you.
Well, it must have been after I stopped watching.
Really?
It is important, yeah. It must have been in the last couple of years. I haven't watched anything after Russell Davies took over again.
Because he's a monster?
No, he's just a lazy storyteller, and I don't like his idea of the series.
She did like New Quantum Leaps, like when they rebooted it, The Flash, Superman and Lois. Here it says Doctor Who 2023. Just one episode.
What's the name of the episode?
For fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, that must be.
Oh no, wait! It's just gonna go to Doctor Who.
Forget it. No, it's fine. It's fine. I've got my answer. It's after I stopped watching.
The Star Beast.
That was the return of David Tennant, I believe. That was literally the episode I stopped watching.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, previously, more Doctor Who. 7 episodes. And hang on, 2014 to 2017.
Oh, I've seen
Dark Water.
Oh,
Death in Heaven.
Oh, Death in Heaven's one of the worst episodes Doctor Who's ever done. But Oh no, both of those episodes were shitty. Those were literally the worst episodes of Doctor Who. Wow.
How about Heaven Sent, Hellbent, season 9?
They're okay. They're a bit overrated, but they're okay.
World Enough in Time, The Doctor Falls.
Yeah, they're okay. All right. Wow.
And Twice Upon a Time.
Oh, that was rough. I'm really more of a classic Doctor Who person, but occasionally the modern era will produce a good episode now and again. But it really is few and far between.
All right. If you say so.
Yeah, none of those are the good episodes that you've just described. Although people really like Hellbent or either Hellbent or Heaven Sent, because it's Peter Capaldi as the Doctor, and it's like he's the only character in the episode. There's no other people in the episode.
Okay.
It's like a one-man episode, which you'd think I'd like more, but it's just bullshit climbing through tunnels for 40 minutes.
Well, she also directed this movie that we're here to talk about. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
I know far less about.
This movie had a budget of $11 million. I imagine most of that was for the 3D. Opening weekend of 12.9, and in the USA and the world, 34.8. So even when they're missing, both critically and with fans, they're still making money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we open with the classic New Line logo. That hasn't changed. And then we get an Ichi quote followed by a Freddy quote for some reason.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, and the music as well, like, I'm immediately in the early 90s with that indie pop music that comes over the titles. I was at the. We didn't have a quote last time. I don't think, did we?
Did we not?
I don't think we had a quote in Dreamchild.
I think you're right. We skipped one, didn't we?
We skipped one.
I thought we were going quotes all the way to the end, but
we did 3 and 4.
Yeah, you're right.
This is the least catchy and most dense so far because it's philosophy writing, which is notoriously impenetrable. But the gag is good where they have a counter quote from Freddy Krueger. Which kind of is sort of under, and this is the tone of the movie that I wanted to see more of. That this kind of the idea that you could pretty much do a comedic a full-throated comedic sequel. Like I think it could have worked, and I like the starting point of this, but also I think it does speak to some of the reasons why you might want to wrap up at this point. It's like, well, people are more now. Freddy has become such a part of pop culture that people are even more likely to quote Freddy Krueger than they are, an established writer. So there's nothing else we can, we've done our job. He's become part of pop culture.
He's with us now. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting that where they go next is like a meta movie about Freddy as a character in popular culture, because the beginning of this movie also suggests that has happened.
Right. We get this fucking odd title card about Springfield or Springwood.
It's very, very early 90s computer game, PC story game look. Let's do story computer game aesthetic. Very Oregon Trail looking. But it's not like every time I see it, I'm like, it's gonna it's someone looking at a computer screen in the room.
Yeah, right.
That's gonna be the reveal, and it never is, and it's just not. Yeah, it's just the style.
Talking about the psychosis of parents,
and I feel like maybe you do one or the other. You have the quotes, you have the Wire style quotes from Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
all in the game. Freddy Krueger. Or you have the text introduction. I think doing both. That's too much text to start the movie.
Plus, it's just sort of... all of it is to prepare us for nonsense we're going to see later in the film. And I don't think anything could prepare me for that.
No.
Frankly.
Well, I mean, it's always... I don't think there's ever a time when you have that amount of text on screen that
it's a good thing.
That it's a good thing, that it signals that the movie hasn't done some work that it needs to do narratively. If they ended up having to put that in a text introduction. I mean, I guess Star Wars is the exception, but that was a reference to something very specific, and it was sort of like catch you up with what happened between the movies, so it felt like a serial.
Yeah.
But, like the new Superman.
Right.
Which we'll talk about at some point. I'm like...
that was the first thing I thought of when you brought that up.
You can't just tell me the story, you have to tell me the story.
Yeah.
Anyway, and to a lesser extent, Fantastic Four did that as well. I just don't think it's okay. I think there's a part of your movie missing.
Well, what do you prefer, a title card or 20 more minutes?
I write it into the movie somehow.
At its current length.
Ghost Protocol it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it in a truck about 10 minutes into the movie. Easy. Well, my next note is we recently covered Airplane on the Patreon, and the opening of this is kind of a conflation of Airplane, the movie, and that episode of The Twilight Zone.
That's what I got from it. And it's one of the few parts in the beginning of this movie that I like.
I think it's great. This movie starts really, aside from the Oregon Trail part, it starts really well. And I like the fact that it's a really wonky model shot of the airplane. That's what made me think of the Zucker element. And the specific references to that Twilight Zone episode, and I suppose movie segment as well.
Very specific. I love the shot of the wing, the water on the window.
The side of the window, yeah.
Really good.
Like, and again, that idea of nightmares refracted through the television that you've watched, which is a kind of emerging idea that, you know, at the end of the decade with The Sopranos, we'll start, as we've said before, we'll start to see more of.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the woman passenger, let's said that as if women aren't normally passengers, but the passenger next to
the guy.
What's his name?
Red
Herring Joe.
Spencer?
I call him Red Herring
No, that's
Joe.
Brecklin Mayer. What the fuck's that guy's name?
Brecklin, isn't it Brecken?
No, because Brecken Meyer is the kid from...
But you said Brecklin. It's Brecken, isn't it?
It's Brecken, yeah.
Okay, you said Brecklin.
Well, sorry. Fuck.
Oh, Brecklin. I listen, whenever you do that, I'm like, well, you obviously know more about this than I do.
Oh, he's John Doe, because we never know his name.
Oh, so Red Herring Joe is just as good a name.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, he's literally called John Doe, so... no... I mean, he's like a red herring.
He's part of my... He's one of the reasons I don't like this movie as much, because I don't like him as an actor, and I also don't like constantly seeing his dirty fucking feet.
Hey, no complaints on that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
He doesn't even have a picture on IMDb.
Well, he's not a human then.
You'd think they'd even at least get a still from this movie.
I think I haven't Mandela affected this, but I believe the passenger next to him was supposed to be Divine.
Oh, really?
Star of Pink Flamingos. And I believe at that point and before you jump on me, John Waters has specifically said Divine always identified as he.
All right.
He was a chauvinist drag queen. He never wanted to be pronounced she. He was either dead by this point or too sick to do it. But this woman is very much a kind of Divine type.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like I wish the movie had more of this kind of wise-ass quality where he's like, I'm afraid of flying, and she goes, don't be a pussy.
Don't be a pussy, yeah.
It's like, that's more the kind of comedy
This is the comedy and humor I wanted from the movie, and I wanted probably absolutely no Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with the Looney Tunes to it. It makes sense to me that the Bugs Bunny dimension of Freddy.
Don't like it.
Better than Super Freddy? By the way, you got away with that one. Didn't say anything about Super Freddy.
I like Super Freddy better than this.
Okay. Well, what do you think of him as the Wicked Witch of the West?
I don't know.
That's my feeling about it as well. I like. Part of me likes that they're channeling the kitsch that they want for the movie, and again, like setting the tone in the right way for the movie they want to make.
For the
other part of me is sort of like it does feel like a bit too much too soon.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it, is that it's just so upfront and so beginning that you literally ask yourself, okay, is this what we're doing now?
And it is.
And the movie hasn't eased you into that idea enough.
It hasn't it hasn't learned the lessons of Airplane.
Right.
You want to gradually, warm your audience up to the kind of tone you've got. Yeah. I liked, the indie pop sound really took me back to the early 90s in a nostalgic way. So did the blue screen work in this movie. I think it was blue screen was the most fluid it ever was in the early 90s. And then we decided we weren't going to do that anymore. Like, just when it got perfect.
Good.
Because every time I see blue screen work from the early 90s, I go, like, it's not, it's not seamless reality, but my eyes see it as reality in a way, maybe that's my problem, but I see it in a reality in a way that I've never been able to do with digital. Or even green screen.
Yeah.
It's like there's a simultaneous awareness that that's not the background that's there, and at the same time, it still feels coherent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just because of the movies I grew up on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it really stands up and looks good.
All right.
Do you not think so?
I'm ambivalent. Like, I don't think like you, I don't think it looks great, but I don't think it looks bad either. I do think it looks natural enough for my naked eye to not be jumping out of and saying, what the fuck is this? So I think it works.
I like the rolling and tumbling through the wilderness. That has a very nightmarish quality to me. The idea of you start rolling and you keep going.
Oh, I'm the total opposite.
What?
It makes me think of Princess Bride.
I don't think you have anxiety dreams.
It makes me think of Princess Bride.
Well,
and
that's
so,
okay. But that's okay.
Because
that's
you're saying it's supposed to be horrific, and to me it looks
I'm
comedic.
saying I think it is comedic, but I think it's also drawing out that essential nightmare quality at the same time. I think you can have both. And at times I think the movie succeeds in balancing both. End of argument.
Also feels like they put that young actor's life in jeopardy, because it looks like it's him the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of times where he clearly seems to be done rolling, and then he sort of leaps up and somersaults into more
the art of comic acting.
So
it's very Bela Lugosi with the octopus.
Yeah. So yeah, it just doesn't land for me.
Okay. Well, ironically, because he does land. Well, my next note is about the obligatory Robert Shea cameo, which...
The worst performance of all of his performances, maybe?
This is where I knew he must be insisting on these cameos, because this role demands acting.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so far out of his depth here.
It's so bad.
So far out of his depth. You need like even though it's a kind of thankless, role, you still need like a solid actor, like like in going back to Rennie Harlan, Ronnie Cox in Deep Blue Sea.
Right.
Thankless role.
Yeah, just doesn't say a word, just sitting in the chair.
But Robert Shea is really stinking up this fucking scene.
Oh, he's fucking awful. And also, so I think part of the reason I dislike this movie so much is the movie does not let me understand what's happening. We meet up with John Doe.
Mm-hmm.
Is he asleep or awake? He's on a plane. Now, the movie seems to be telling me that we're in one of his dreams because nonsense is happening. He's falling out of the plane, then he's waking up in his house, but then that house is falling.
Mm-hmm.
That dreamlike quality of rolling down the hill. And then Freddy hits him with a bus and pushes him into our world and knocks him unconscious. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Did he pull his actual body into the dream and do all of this? Or was he dreaming and somehow Freddy dragged it? Like the movie does not explain to me what's happening, and that I don't like.
I don't think it's that they don't explain it. There's too that's part of the problem. The biggest problem is that there's too much going on conceptually.
That's the other thing. Yeah, is that you're not explaining the rules of this to me at all. He's pushed you through the fabric of not time, but the fabric between dream and reality.
That's the reality border. That's the idea they're trying to get across. Yeah, but it's muddy. And again, it requires you to go back to the idea of Freddy represents a place, not a person.
Yeah.
Which we've sort of cycled through this again and again. Is it the place? Is it the house in Springwood, or is it the people he's following?
Right.
And the last three movies have been pretty adamant. It's the people.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's the person.
Now it's the place.
Now it's the place. Yeah. Also, recycling your own imagery is never a good sign. Freddy is a bus driver again. Did they forget they did this a few movies back?
Right.
Or, and this is the other part, like I don't quite know where they're pitching it, is this greatest hits? This is our last one. Let's play all our greatest hits.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's hard to believe that they would have forgotten that they already did this bit with Freddy as a bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Englund getting his fucking face back in again. Not for the last time in this movie. In fact, more of this movie is Robert Englund face than Freddy face.
Yeah.
There's another sign that this is the most cartoonish this series has ever got is they do the Wile E. Coyote reality cutout.
That's my note, exactly.
So we're operating on a Looney Tunes logic.
So it sets out its store that we are in a Looney Tunes world, but because that, I mean, I don't know. I think this is a personal thing for me too. When we get too far removed from what we were originally, I start to buck.
Oh, I think you're like most fans.
And so, like you, although maybe I should applaud it more for trying to do something different, like a completely zany and funny take on Freddy. If this is our last one, it's not what I want to see. It's not what I'm interested in, and so I
should come at you hard because you're essentially unraveling your own argument about Nightmare 2. I'd say, but
I don't think so.
No, but I am. But in terms of that's what a lot of people didn't want to see.
Yeah,
but I empathize with what you're saying because one of the reasons that sequels are so difficult to talk about is that it's a fine balance that you can't always sort of theorize.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got to be just different enough whilst keeping enough of the original imprint. And that is that's an art, not a science, right? You can't, because you can sort of say, like, logically, we need to be doing something different, but I don't want it to be
that's what I would say 2 does.
Exactly. We'll say, like, it's got to be different, but I don't want it to be too different. I also don't want it to be different in a way that I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
That's that's
exactly.
where it becomes an art and not a science.
That's the exact part. It's like, it's okay to be different, but not too different than I want it to be. What do I want it to be? It's hard for me to tell you what that is. But I just know when you've done it right or done it wrong.
Exactly. And that's why we sound like hypocrites all the time.
Yeah.
Because we're Walt Whitman contradicting ourselves very well. We contradict ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because that's the nature of sequels is, when they've found the sweet spot between sameness and difference.
Right.
But that sweet spot you can't quantify. You can't boil it down to an equation of how that works ever.
Right.
And so, theoretically, this could be a far better movie than Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but it's not.
Yeah. And maybe that's it. Maybe literally it's, maybe I would gravitate towards it if it was, I don't even know what to say. If it was made a little bit better, if the ideas in it were a little sharper.
You'd respect it more in the morning.
Yeah.
No, it's like you but I think that's what it is. It's sort of like if
we're like Billy Crystal in When Harry Met Sally. No, I slept with her.
Yeah. But if it had been an extrapolation of what you see in the opening nightmare scene, if it had kind of carried on in that vein, we'd have gone, it might not be for us.
Yeah, right.
But you've got to admire that it stuck to its guns and it committed to the bit. And to me, the biggest failure of this movie, it doesn't commit to its own bit.
Okay.
It doesn't really know what its own bit is after a point.
Right.
So, that's why what we're doing is entirely pointless. Because we're never going to get there.
Well, see, I think that's what makes it interesting. Because that, even in this own series, my internet is, can you still see me?
I keep thinking I've alienated you. Because I'll say something, and then it will just be silence and you're looking down, and I'm like, oh no. Why did that hit the wrong note? And then you'll unfreeze and you'll be laughing riotously, slapping your own legs. And I'm like, oh, he did like that. I'm so fragile mentally that would affect me. I'm like, oh no, he hates me.
Well, see,
oh wait, he loves me.
That's what I was saying. I was in the middle of saying that. I think that's what makes our mandate here the most interesting, is because even in this own series, you say, yeah, but you're reversing this from that. You like it there and not this. But you know, when you're watching a sequel, it either hits you in the way you want it to, or it doesn't. And who knows what that alchemy is? But it's different for each of us, right?
I think there is an alchemy that I think there's an all-purpose alchemy. I just can't describe it to you in a way that makes sense without me contradicting myself 8 times in a row.
Yeah.
There's definitely a personal taste aspect to it, but I do think there is a point at which the base metals become gold.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just that line is different every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Well, he wakes up and he's going into town. I guess it's the next town over. Is that what Freddy's deal is? He's just trying to...
We're in fucking Bumtown, if that's the next
Seriously.
Springwood. You leave Springwood and you go to Bush era depravity town.
You leave Springwood and go to shitty Bumville.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's... but we got, and I guess, you know, maybe this is another greatest hits, the child's mental health clinic.
Yeah.
That we're back to. We've not seen that for a couple of movies.
Right.
It's a group home as well, in the way it was in 3.
3. We have a dick dad right away with Brecken.
None of this goes anywhere. It's kind of interesting as a representation of this era in America. Mm-hmm. The way the police are sort of like, and yeah, you know, we just hand them on.
Let's drop them off and let them do the paperwork, they say.
And I mean, you know, it reminds me of stuff like The Wire, which is about, you know, this is all
institutionalized.
Gaming, basically. You're like, you know, it's just a game, and you're just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the synonymy between drugs and kids. Mm-hmm. Political divisions in American society. So it's kind of it doesn't go anywhere.
No,
but you know, it's a fairly. I mean, and that's the other thing. It's like, I don't know if I'm happy as Springwood being this like town from a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Because when you go outside of that and you try and represent life as it really is, it kind of takes up some of your movie, and you kind of got to shit or get off the pot. So like, because none of this matters really.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna go back to Springwood,
right, in short order,
and then then we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna go out of reality and into dreams for the rest of the movie. So, I mean, I kind of liked hearing about it, but also, you know, does it fit with the fictional world that's been established in previous movies? And I think that's the big problem.
That's the problem, it
doesn't.
It does not.
It's like we never see. And I think all of these slasher franchises that we've done, the big 3, they all kind of exist in a slightly fantasy version of reality. Like, aside from when Jason goes to Canadian Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Which in itself is a fantasy, so I'll include that as well. You know, it never quite seems like the world we live in.
Right.
And so when the world we live in 1990, like for instance in 1991, just jumps out at you, you're like, whoa, that doesn't feel right.
That's a big problem in this movie, actually. It's not till later on, but I'll mention it now. When the kids are driving the truck, they're supposed to be going back to their, whatever it is, asylum or their daycare center.
Their asylum. If anyone asks, I'm at my asylum.
But when they're riding around in that...
Oh, yes, club. Yes.
When they're riding around in that van, they toggle between classic Pasadena and some desert town on the outskirts of, who knows, on the way to Mammoth or something like that. Like, nothing makes... It causes a real cognitive dissonance because it's not the same place. Clearly.
Yeah. And, you know, if they are drawing on the kind of Twin Peaks model...
That Twin Peaks was a huge influence for her personally.
Yeah. But the thing about that series, what I think, where the collaboration came in, and because you don't see this in David Lynch's movies before or since, is this very realist sense of geography that underpins the series. Like, if you look at Twin Peaks compared to Blue Velvet's like this representation of a small town that's also a big city when it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Twin Peaks is very geographically specific. This, you know, on the border between Canada and the jurisdictions and everything like that. Right. And I think that's probably more Mark Frost than David Lynch. But that's the thing. It's like there's got to be some.
But you never lose that sense in the entire series.
Right, and so I think if you're going for that, you've also got to recognize that
in this particular movie,
fictional world, right? It's part of your world building.
In this particular movie, you're losing that sense from literally minute to minute or second to second. So that's a problem.
A big problem.
But I have a positive note here. I think new group Who Dis is introduced pretty well. Fairly fluidly. We get to know in a quick manner all these new kids, what their deal is, and the people working in the building.
Yeah. The unmistakable bellow of Yaphet Kotto.
I swear. You know what? There was a moment where, I don't know what her name is, Maggie, Lisa Zane is the actor. Maggie Burroughs is the character. Where there's a moment somewhere in this early portion where she sort of yells at him and he's looking at something else and he just goes, yeah, well, you know, I mean, blah, blah, blah. It's like her yelling affected him not at all, but not in a way in which Yaphet Kotto, the actor, wasn't listening. That's just who the character, like, I could tell that he was just Yaphet Kotto being fucking Yaphet Kotto. I loved it.
He's in the Homicide Life on the Street phase. He's yet to do that series, but he's in the Homicide Life on the Street phase of his hairdo. Yes. Where, you know, he seems to have all the hairdos at once, somehow. He's like a real life...
Careful. Can see you being careful.
No. He's like a real life... Listen, he's one of my favorite actors.
Me too.
He's like a real life Dr. Hibbert, you know, when they flash back and Dr. Hibbert's got all these different haircuts, but he's got all the haircuts at once. Yeah, and there's so much potential in this character, and obviously casting someone as good as Yaphet Kotto in this relatively small role, because he's the anti-Freddy, and we've never really had an anti-Freddy before. He goes into dreams and he helps kids.
Yes.
Rather than kill them. So he's set up as the Van Helsing. To Freddy's Dracula, but they never play that out. Right. He's always sending someone else into the dream. It's like, no, I want to see you go in the dream.
Or getting locked behind a gate.
Yeah, I want it to be Freddy versus Kotto.
Yeah. I mean, we get that moment, but not...
Freddy versus Yaphet.
But it's laid on, and it doesn't last very long.
No, and he just gives someone the glasses. It's like, it's not the glasses I want to see go into the dream and fight Freddy. It's you. Isn't he referred to as the Dream Doctor?
Kind of, yeah.
And so wouldn't that even be like a great subtitle for the movie if the movie was about him, the Dream Doctor?
Oh, right, the Dream Doctor. That's good.
We've had the Dream Child, the Dream Master, the Dream Doctor. Different degrees. Doctor, Master, Doctor, the Dream Bachelor.
Don't use it for your pitch, because I'm gonna.
The Dream Bachelor, the Dream Master, the Dream Doctor, the Dream Professor.
Yeah.
Emeritus. The Dream Professor Emeritus.
The Dream Cop. The Dream Garbage Man. You can pick anything you want.
All the Lego figures.
Yeah.
Something that I feel that we've avoided up to this point that is an unwelcome addition to the franchise. Amnesia. Yeah. I think dreams or amnesia, not both. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
I can watch a movie about amnesia, I'll watch a movie about dreams. I'm not going to watch a movie about where both happen in the same movie.
Especially if it's your lead character.
Well, whenever if the movie's not about it, conceptually,
Yeah, right.
it's always a lazy plot device.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a point you would rather your character not know something that happened to them in the movie.
Right. What's that movie?
Until...
Shattered? Is it Shattered with Berenger and
Well,
Bob Hoskins?
Thinking about even Memento, right? I think even that
right.
makes the idea work because that's the structure of the movie. Just don't do that with every movie you do that's not about amnesia, Chris Nolan.
Note.
Fuck. If the Odyssey is like going back and forth, the fucking Odyssey, I that's it. That's cinema's done.
You quit?
Quit. I quit cinema. If he tells a non-chronological version of the Odyssey, you know he's gonna too. Yeah, I mean this is gonna happen.
I was gonna say, like, come on, spoiler alert, Tom.
That's gonna be the tragedy of fucking the Odyssey, not the what's in the movie.
Who
but the
are you
fact that it's
talking
told
about?
Non-chronologically. Oh, and also Dreaming Memories again.
Yes.
Dreaming Memories, Amnesia.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dream 101 and not in a good way.
I don't think they're keeping their secret as much as they're keeping their secret. They think they're keeping their secret either. Right? Like, it seems like they want to keep it from us that he's not Freddy's son, that she is. But we're seeing pretty...
I fell for it.
Did you?
I forgot that was the twist.
Well,
it might just be that the movie itself is more forgettable. But
there's a daughter in the dream, so you know that he has a daughter.
At some point, I figured it out. I don't think this early, though.
Okay.
I'm slow on the uptake with these things, though. I like to be surprised. Mm-hmm. So I play along for as long as I can.
Me too. This movie didn't let me.
No, the movie doesn't let you for long. Again, Chris Nolan's The Prestige.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly twins. Well, not twins, but yeah, twins.
Twins.
Twins and then clones. Twins and clones. That's like Amnesia and Dreams.
Just watched you work that out in your head. It gets so mad internally.
Because I went, great. Oh, actually, he's not
twins
a twin.
And clones. God damn it.
He's not a twin. He's a clone. I'm like, no, he's both. How? Fuck it.
Oh, that's great.
Fucking idiot.
Well, they take the van back to Springwood, right?
Yeah, the rock music road trip, which cuts out at Springwood. Well, when they get back into Springwood, again, I start to warm to the movie again. It feels like...
That's where I am diametrically opposed to the movie.
Well, the tone of Scream, right?
To bring that classic phrase back.
The tone of Scream as, filtered through the imagination of John Waters. I really like the carnival.
Yeah, see, I don't.
Kitschy, creep, comedic. And then when Roseanne and Tom Arnold appear, I'm just like, yeah, this feels like, that kind of trashy, bad taste cinema feel to it. They shouldn't have name-checked Twin Peaks.
I think the problem...
I think they felt they were justified because Twin Peaks had stolen so much from this series.
Yeah. I think my problem with it is... I don't like the entire premise of the movie. So the idea that Freddy has killed every single child except this one, and that the parents are just left into this town to kind of go batshit crazy on their own. Like, I don't believe that there's a guy just teaching no one in a class all by himself, going silently nuts. Like, it's all new, nonsensical in a off-putting way to me. I just don't like any of it.
There's a difference between, I think, extrapolation, which is what 2, 3, 4, and even 5 are doing from the original premise, and saying that what we know about Freddy ends up in a ghost town full of dead children.
Yeah.
That's a big swing for the mythology that takes it into a very different kind of movie.
Yeah. And then we didn't mention this at the beginning, but one thing I love about this series is no matter what they do to Freddy, they pretty much take the time to, at least from, 3, 4, and 5, and even 6 do this really well. If Freddy's gone, they show us how he comes back.
Yeah.
Even if it's nonsensical, even if it's a dog peeing fire, like, they'll show us how he comes back. In this movie, he's just back. Like, it's so lazy.
But
they don't bother to tell us.
This is where we are in the series, and you can see the equivalent in Halloween and Friday the 13th as well. It's like we stop, like, the beginning of the movie that turns out to be Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday, as we discovered at the beginning of this episode. Like, he's just back. Like, he gets toxic waste back to infancy in the end of the last movie. There's no reference to that. He just kind of, he's just, he appears just running out. In the FBI sting, he's just running after that girl. Yeah. So I think it is something that happens in slashers. They get tired even of the sort of charade of going through the resurrection. And kind of thinking, well, the audience knows that we're only doing this to placate them, so let's not bother. I think with Michael Myers too, like, when he pops up in H2O, it's like, well, he's just been hanging around for 20 years.
Yeah, right.
So
he's been searching for that nurse's house for 20 years.
It's what I expect at this point in the series. But I agree with you that some lip service to that is important.
I guess this series feels more... It just felt more inclined to not let that fall off by the wayside like other series have. Until now. So it's like you're at your last movie. I don't know why they...
Well, the text introduction is a red flag of there's a lot of story in between the end of the last movie and the beginning of this one that we're not going to tell in the frame of the movie, and that's a problem.
Yeah. All right, I think we should take our first break.
Yeah, we should take our first break because we got another big mythology retcon coming up.
All right, we'll get to that when we get back. Right after this. It's time for Lizard vs. Wizard, in a brand new action-packed comedy, fantasy adventure book written and performed by Christopher John Featheroff. It's called The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards. When her nest is destroyed and her forever mate slaughtered, Zephyr Ignitus, the last of an ancient breed of fire-breathing dragons, gathers together a team of saber-toothed panthers, woolly mammoths, and a crew of howler monkeys, brandishing swords and weapons stolen from the ships of men, all to hunt down and scorch the evil beast-killing wizard that did her wrong. The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards is a fast-paced, R-rated comedy under the cloak of an epic, rip-roaring fantasy adventure. Set in a land of fire and magic, it follows the dragon on her quest for vengeance, as she visits strange new cities and mystical places, all to hunt down and slaughter a demented sorcerer that slayed her mate and blew up her mountain. The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards can be found in ebook, paperback, and audiobook. Try and find it on Amazon or on Kindle. That's The Last of the Giant Fire Lizards. Find it wherever you get the good books just as soon as you can. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom and I are here, struggling through my internet connection as we talk through Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Directed by Rachel Talalay.
Not just the internet connection, the movie too.
That's true. Yeah, it's not easy.
We're both pretty down on this movie, I think.
So far, I liked hearing this from you.
So, turns out Freddy had a kid.
Yeah. Now,
this is a big,
I want to ask you about
mythology
this.
add-on.
Yeah, this is a huge mythology reboot.
But again, this is what happens at this point in the series. It happens with Jason.
Yeah.
Jason's sister. He has a sister. They would normally add in a relative at this point. I guess they do it pretty early on.
They do it early in Halloween, yeah.
But doesn't there a... And they were gonna do Jason's dad, which they wisely kind of walked
Right.
away from at the end of Jason Lives. So, Elias Voorhees. How do I fucking know the name of a character that didn't even exist? I think they used him in the comics eventually, right? They used Elias Voorhees.
I don't know.
In the Friday comics.
Why do you know anything about Friday comics? You don't read comics?
Probably from watching those 5-hour Friday documentaries about each of these franchises. Although Halloween doesn't have one, you can cobble together like a similar.
Yeah, I'm offended by that. By the way, I want my Halloween one.
Well, you know, it's the cards. I think.
Mm-hmm. True.
Don't want that information out there.
So, in terms of this movie.
But I think this is what you do at this point. But
that's what I was gonna say. Like, it feels like something where you just say to yourself, "Come on, this is nonsense." But I kind of like that about this series, that they keep developing the actual mythology of the character of Freddy Krueger. And if you're gonna go somewhere in your last film, or what you think is gonna be your last film,
I wrote that exact note. I said the last film is probably the place to do this if you're gonna do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we feel the same about it. Though one of the problems is, and this goes back to, again, this is where this movie starts to make the mistakes of the other slasher franchises that it up until this point has avoided. Now we're suddenly concerned with the timeline of Freddy's life and how that fits with the series.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't really fit.
Right.
We're also we're well in the future, aren't we, by this point? Isn't this like
it feels like it? Yeah, I don't know.
Hasn't it been this movie isn't set in 1991, right? It's set in like the year 2000 or something.
Maybe not that far, but I mean, we skipped 5 years just after the first movie.
We did, yeah. So it's not
the rest of the movies are very unclear about time between sequels. So.
And that's good. That shows that they know it's been a problem in the previous franchises. Let's just keep stum about it.
Mum's the word.
Mum's the word. So it's when you start to discuss it and it starts to become important to your story that the audience is like, hang on a minute, this timeline doesn't make sense.
Because there's an aspect of these flashback scenes that makes it seem as though Freddy's a father in the 40s, like a milkman's coming to deliver milk soon. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
That's what it looks like.
I think I had the same note about Springwood, that even when we're in modern day Springwood, dilapidation aside,
it looks like the 60s, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like the town ran out of steam in about 1965.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Cuba, it's been cut off from culture. They're still driving around like fucking 50 Chevys or something.
Right.
I gotta say, on that note, recently having watched a screening of Die Another Day in the theater,
right,
hard cut of Bond asking for a car in Cuba, the exaggerated Cuban guy saying, "Oh, I have the perfect car." And you think it's going to be something really souped up. The next thing you see is in like a 1954 Cadillac. Open top. Perfect. Great movie. All
right.
Great
Settle
movie,
down. We're not
out.
here to talk about that.
No. I'm pre-advertising my possible appearance on a future James Bonding podcast.
Excellent. So this is the part we kind of talked about it earlier, or I mentioned it, because this is the part where, for one, Maggie sending those 3 kids home in the van. That in and of itself seemed a little irresponsible.
Oh, we missed the map. The one
that's where we are right now.
Oh, that's where we are right now.
So
okay.
The kids are in the van, but we have that quality that I talked about of. Part of the time it looks like they're driving in Pasadena, and the other time it's like they're on an old abandoned road on the Universal lot. Mm-hmm. So those two things don't match up. And then this is when the map comes out, and I guess it gives you some anxiety that it just doesn't give me. To me, it
reminded me of that scene in Brazil where he's kind of, where Robert De Niro gets covered in paper and then there's nothing beneath the paper. Kind of the same quality to me.
Okay. Yeah, I found it
underwhelming.
Non-threatening and underwhelming.
I like that even though it was much simpler, obviously, than some of the dream sequences they've applied, I like that they were sort of going back to the basics of it's not necessarily... It doesn't necessarily have to be elaborate as long as it has that core of this is like an anxiety dream that you might have had. Because there's a lot of that in the first movie and second movie, and then it, you know, obviously with the upping of production values and production design,
we're focused on worms eating people.
And it stays scary for a while, and then Dream Child is sort of like, well, we've lost the fear element completely. So I like that we were going back to to basics in terms of what's the core of fear that we're trying to express here.
Gotcha.
So that's what I liked about it. But you know, it doesn't stand up against obviously like the fucking puppets or you know, the Welcome to Primetime bitch. But you know, but in a little way, it claimed back some of the terror that was missing from the series.
If you say so.
For a fucked up person like me, who apparently, if you're my control experiment, lives in a waking nightmare. We've done everything we could possibly do to the house. So here they're like, well, we can make it bulge, make it bend, and we can blow it up. That's basically all we can do at this point.
They also, because...
everything else has been done to it.
Well, but the kids stop the van, and they're at... Because the original address for Elm Street was 1428. And when they stop the van, they're at 1427. So they walk just a little ways, and they see a house that doesn't look like Freddy's house. And then once they walk in the door, it rearranges.
Admitted it was his house.
It rearranges into Freddy's house.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking, to what purpose? They don't know anything about the house. They're not scared of it. Like, you can show yourself your regular house. They don't care.
Without saying it, don't we have to accept that once they get inside Springwood, that we're in Dreamland? So anything is possible? I
guess.
Powers beyond reason, going back to a very early episode. In Superman 2. We have powers beyond reason. We can fucking do anything.
Squint out some laser beams on a fried snake.
Fried snake, you're making me hungry. And I feel like, again, this is like what happens when you get to a certain point in the series. We now treat the Elm Street house just like a regular haunted house.
Yeah. You know what I did like was the second they close the door and the blood starts seeping down the front of the door.
Oh, and I didn't mention, he's an actor I only know as the heavy metal kid from that LA episode of Seinfeld. Who's the kid with the hearing aid.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's like, what do you think? Have you ever killed a man, Kramer?
Yeah.
In the back of the car in that episode. That's how I know him. So, like, you know, you go, okay, like children with disabilities. Right? We've had the child in a chair in previous movies. It's like mutes, kids. You know, let's do hearing impairment as well. But again, it comes with the familiarity of, oh, that's going to be a big part of his death.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of exploited. It makes it self-exploitative by being just another way of theming his death.
And it goes on for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I viscerally do feel it.
I do too, especially when he gets the hearing, the Q-tip, and then when he gets the hearing aid back, and it turns into Freddy Claw hearing aid. That's hard to watch.
Yeah, it's hard to say it's not exploiting disability for entertainment purposes, but for the able-bodied out there, the kind of fear that you're going to damage your ear if you stick the Q-tip in too far, is what it's preying on. And again, I think that's reverting to the good core of fear in these dream sequences.
And there's a point where Freddy picks him up and throws him through the wall. And the next thing you know, he's in a boiler room. And I thought to myself, man, I haven't seen the boiler room in a while. Nice to see the boiler room.
Yeah, that's right. We and churches and asylums.
I don't think we get them in 4 or 5.
Yeah, we end up in a church in 4 and an asylum in 5.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Boiler room. That's good.
Is there even a boiler room in 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she goes... Because the opening sequence of 3 is kind of closely modeled on the original sequence, where she finds him in the boiler room.
But the rest of the movie doesn't have a lot of
No.
boiler room. He's another... Well, maybe Joey's hanging in a boiler room-like place when they go get him.
I don't think so.
No?
I think you're right. I think the
Okay.
3 makes that shift towards Gothic buildings, and we kind of stay in those Gothic buildings, even when the material doesn't necessarily require.
We stay in nun rape rooms for a while.
This is the nun rape room. Don't go in there. Especially if you're a nun.
Stay the fuck out.
We'll probably talk about this on a future episode yet to be announced, but last night I watched The Howling for the first time, Joe Dante movie.
Good movie.
Probably my favorite moment was Dick Miller, who runs the occult bookshop. 2 nuns walk in and start looking around, and he just tuts and shakes his head. It's like a couple of school kids came into the pawn shop.
Right. Disapprove.
And then, so it starts visceral. Like, I get that kind of Q-tip. That makes me feel my own ears.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's sort of like, and then he hears a pin drop, and there are nails on a chalkboard. I'm like, okay, symbolically, conceptually, that works, but it's a bit forced, not very scary.
Yeah. That's the thing, is none of it.
Like, the idea is fine,
frightening.
but... Mm-hmm.
But he does, yeah, he scratches that claws on the chalkboard until his head explodes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, that's one of their big, I think they spent a lot of money on that head exploding gag.
Yeah. Oh, they probably spent a lot of money getting Johnny Depp back, too. Or do you think he worked for free?
Oh, really?
Every time they talk about this cameo, feels like if not working for free, then they're not paying him much. Because was it in the Never Sleep Again documentary? They say that they always thought he...
I know everybody was super excited to see him come in.
But I think they didn't ask him before this because they thought he would say no.
Mm-hmm.
And when they asked him in this, he was like, why haven't you asked me to do this before?
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if he's working for free, but that doesn't sound like he's getting a lot of... Like, it sounds more like, I want to do this again.
Well, I think it's funny because that exact thing sounds right on the money. He seems like a person that wouldn't be interested in doing that, and yet he comes back for this. He comes back in the 21 Jump Street movies to make an appearance. Like, he seems more game than you'd think he would be for doing these things. Because he's an eccentric weirdo, naturally. Yeah. You just think, no, he's just like doing his own thing. He doesn't want to go back to the beginning when he was a normal person.
Well, he's also a fan of British comedy, British sitcoms. And he was a fan of a British, not sitcom, but a sketch show called The Fast Show. And he appeared on their final episode. Like, he did a cameo for that as well. So, yeah, and I'm guaranteed he didn't get paid for that because the BBC don't have money to throw at celebrities like that.
Interesting.
Unless it's Graham Norton. My next note is, and I don't remember what this refers to. Oh, yeah, that's right. After this, we get like a psychedelic killing episode.
Yes, because Spencer's...
smoking weed.
Yeah.
Which is like not... the way that deaths are themed around your talent, around your disability, your neuroses. But this is just like your hobby, like your recreation. It's like, well, yeah, so does every fucking teenager in America like to smoke weed. So what's distinctive about that?
Nothing. It's funny too because
it's like a anti-drugs PSA, which they mock before that with Johnny Depp's.
Yeah.
This is your brain.
Your brain on drugs.
So I guess they're kind of making the point that there's a lot of anti-drugs media about around there.
Well, I think it's also because right before he goes into the psychedelic TV, he's also like watching all the kids' souls on TV, but he can't recognize what he's watching because he's high. He's just like, man, that's weird. There's all these poor lost souls like, help me, help me.
That's a nice idea, the souls lost in the television. I've seen that done in a Doctor Who episode. Not one directed by Rachel Talalay, though.
All right, settle down.
The Idiot's Lantern is the episode I'm talking about. Written by Mark Gatiss, co-creator of Sherlock.
I said, settle down.
Co-star of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning and Dead Reckoning Part 1. Got it. Dragged it back to us.
The next thing you know, Freddy's playing a video game. It seems like they're capitalizing on the popularity of like Mario Brothers.
The popularity and also the fear of it as well. Like, the new satanic panic is TV, drugs, computer games.
Well,
that's what's going to harmfully affect children.
Maybe.
Oh, at this time, computer games were the new satanic panic. This is what was going to...
I don't remember people being as up in arms about video games at that time. Yeah,
because you were playing them and enjoying them like you should. But
I really don't remember parents or people all to like, they were just as not interested in playing them, but you know, there weren't parents that were like, no, we're not getting that video game system. It's bad for kids.
Well, they were in Britain.
I think, well, maybe more time, like just spending too much time with them. That was more the thing.
I suppose, does this justify the PC look of the text introduction? The fact that we do go back to the idea of computer graphics? No,
I don't think so.
It looks like they used the same program to design it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, but it's such a flaw in this film to focus on something that's so ephemeral. Like the way graphics look in computer games in 1991.
Not just that, but like at one point, Freddy's...
Because they've got to know.
He's like, I've got the glove.
Yeah.
And that was like a real thing, right?
Nintendo had it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, it was such a failure, the glove, that when I watch the movie now, I forget about it. And I don't know what he's even referencing.
They should have realized, given how quickly computer games developed over the last 10 years,
right,
that this would make their movie look dated as of like a couple of years later. Mm-hmm. And it absolutely did. Like, even by the mid-90s, the graphics don't look like this. They've improved exponentially.
Right.
So...
GoldenEye, baby.
You don't have to tell me. So... the line "great graphics" sounds ironic now, but it probably wasn't meant to be at the time.
Right? Yeah. They have a better line because it's more general and it doesn't have to do with that specific. Where he's just like, "I beat my high score."
See, yeah, that's still how did they know that would still be a thing though?
Yeah,
the games would still be scored in that way. Also, like, again, it feels like people who don't play computer games. I know Charlie Brooker goes on about this all the time, that when computer games are used in traditional media, you can tell the people who've actually played computer games. So, you know, in Black Mirror, he's like introducing computer game logic to the storytelling. Like the Bandersnatch Choose Your Own Adventure episode that he did on Netflix. But this is just like cartoon sound effects.
Yeah, I mean...
it's just like, honk, honk. Like, it's fucking Michael Winslow. It's like, that's not what computer games sound like.
It's all straight out of Looney Tunes is what it is.
Yeah. It's like you have computer game moves in the real world.
Boing, boing.
I mean, I'm not saying they should have focused on one specific video game, but you should have been able to sort of notice the tropes of video games. Mm-hmm. And they're just not there at all. It is literally like Freddy plays Nintendo. It's the whole bit.
The whole bit. And it goes on for a while.
Yeah.
Going back to Dream
Is it Nintendo?
Logic.
Am I remembering that rightly?
Yeah. think so. Going back to dream logic or the lack of it, I don't think getting hit in the head with a stick immediately puts you into a dream state. I think that's a different thing.
I also think this is a poor reprise of the time loop from
Me too. Absolutely.
It's kind of folded into the ongoing madness in a way that you almost don't notice it's supposed to be a time loop.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this must be your worst moment in the movie, where he rolls out the mobile spikes and looks at the camera.
Don't like
it. Is this where you tap out?
I'm certainly, if I haven't tapped out already, that's definitely when I quit.
I don't have any strong feelings about it. I will.
You know what? There's even a moment before that with what was the deaf kid's name?
Seinfeld LA episode.
All right, Seinfeld LA episode. He cuts off his ear and takes away his hearing aid, and he's like jumping around behind him. And there's a moment where he looks straight down the barrel of the camera and puts up a claw and goes, "Shh."
Yes.
Yeah. That's when I started to become very uncomfortable. By the time we get to the spikes, I'm done.
One, I don't have any strong feelings about this either way.
Okay.
Two, I don't think I have the problem that most people have about characters in movies looking into the lens, which is why my favorite Bond movie is On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which very much begins with that.
Right.
The first thing Bond does is to look in the lens of the camera. But it's interesting that I made the Bugs Bunny comparison before I'd seen the documentary and saw that was what Robert Englund was going for. So it's clear, the intentionality is clear, that it's not like they stumbled upon this accidentally or they went too far and didn't realize. So that's all I'll say in its defense, is that it's a very clear, everyone's on the same page about what they're doing. It's not a byproduct of something not going well.
Yeah.
But as a choice, I'm kind of neutral on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me, but you have this bit of John Doe getting pulled out of the van, literally, because in dream state he is parachuting. They don't really show that, though. Like, he just kind of, he's got to be dead the second his head literally goes through the metal part of a
not in a horror film, though.
Not in a horror film, but anyway, I don't know if he's actually flying in the air or not in reality, but in dream state he's in a parachute and he thinks he can't die because Freddy wants to keep him alive because he's his son, and Freddy cuts him down. When he does fall on the spikes, we finally get actual kind of horror of him falling on the spikes, and you can see all the spots where the spikes are up and he starts bleeding through his own shirt. And it's one of the few moments of actual horror in the entire movie.
I agree with that. So yeah, this, as you said, this is where we find out he's a decoy. He's like one of those, going back to David Lynch, he's like one of those ball-bearing people in Twin Peaks: The Return.
Yeah.
People are just turned into fucking, who are just made out of ball bearings to advance the plot. So fucking great. So fucking great.
After John Doe dies, are we seeing what we never saw in the previous movie? Because we see him separate from a body in the last movie, but we see her enter his daughter's body in this movie.
Yeah, I said that they've mixed up there's movies that are about soul eating. And then there are movies about possession.
Yeah, right.
And this is kind of mixing up the mythos a little bit. It's sort of like, it's both eating souls and possessing bodies at the same time. And again, I think we're mixing up the greatest hits, The greatest hits albums aren't always the best albums.
Right.
Even though they ostensibly have the greatest hits on them. The best Beatles album is not, as Alan Partridge said, the best of the Beatles. Yeah, I mean, and we said before that the part of the franchise where hitherto unheard of slasher relatives come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, right.
But also a new, obviously that is a new addition to the mythology, the fact that he even has a child or a relative. But Freddy being able to erase children from history. I haven't heard about this before.
No, yeah, that's new.
Yeah.
In addition, like, the next time we see Yaphet Kotto, like, coming up right now, all of a sudden he seems to have a lot of answers for questions that I didn't even know he would have enough information to ask.
And I think, they would say... Isn't there something in the text introduction about this as well? Like, that he started to erase children from history?
Yeah. Well, he started...
So basically, their answer...
And also...
If I said that was a plot hole, they'd be like, no, it happened in between movies.
Right. So what happens is, like, John Doe dies, Brecken dies.
Mm-hmm.
Just those two? Oh, no, and the deaf kid. When they get back to...
I prefer Seinfeld LA episode. It's more politically correct than the deaf.
I know. I keep calling him the deaf kid. It's the only...
At least hearing impaired, please. That reminds me of another great Alan Partridge joke where he's buying a house and it said, this is located next to a school for the deaf. And he's like, does that mean there will be noise or there won't be noise? That's a difficult one to try and figure out.
So, but when they get back, nobody that lives there can remember any of those kids. So Freddy has erased them from time, I guess. Except Yaphet Kotto remembers. What does he say? He says, because I do battle in dreams or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I headcanoned it as he's the anti-Freddy, so he and Freddy are...
Yeah.
You know what they say in time travel movies when it's like, oh, how does anyone remember what happens when the timeline changes? It's like, well, we're at the... Doctor Who does this all the time. We're at the eye of the storm, so we still remember.
Okay.
They do it in Star Trek as well. Like, technically, Benjamin Sisko in Deep Space Nine still remembers that he kept popping in and out of reality through the entirety of his son's life and has seen his son when he is a 50-year-old man played by Tony Todd. The episode told us he never makes reference to it again. He's seen his entire son's life and gone back and then just kind of living on reality.
You're like a fucking tangent superhero in this episode.
Super tangent. Da, 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 da. That would be my superhero power, wouldn't it? Tangents.
Yeah.
As was explored in the Doctor Who episode. No, I'm making it.
I think we get a flashback, right? To him killing his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell.
Yeah. Freddy in real life is my note. Oh, there's the quote, which has this been said before? This every town has an Elm Street, or is this the first time?
That's the first time. Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Line for
and then Elm Street sign comes barreling out of the pavement.
I have a feeling though, anecdotally, they're reporting something that someone else has said outside of the movie, like a film critic or something that. The reason this works is every town has an Elm Street.
Right. That seems like enough to keep Freddy going just because of that. Like, they could have used that the whole time if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should take one more break, because I'm starting to get towards the end of my notes.
Okay. I always like to take a breather before I talk about parental rape.
Agreed.
Agreed? Like it's come up before.
We'll take that break and come back right after this.
I like to think I know something about beer. But nowadays, even I get overwhelmed when confronted by the exhaustive selection of craft beers they have at bars, breweries, and even grocery stores. Back in the day you had one, maybe two craft beers to choose from, and if you were confused, you ordered a Guinness. But in beerstinations like San Diego, the craft beer options lately are in double, sometimes even triple digits. So what's a beer drinker to do? You need what I need. The Vegas Beer Guys. Your beer of choice should be a perfect blend of malt and hops. And so a live show about beer needs that same balance. And the Vegas beer guys matches beer expert Dan Aker with self-proclaimed beer novice Stephen J. Weiss. The results are eminently drinkable. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They'll try new beers. They'll tell you about beers. Think of them as your beer Sherpas guiding you up a foamy-headed mountain to reach the peak of your pint. God, I need a beer.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom and I are here, finishing up.
Said that like Freddy.
Freddy's Dead. The Final Nightmare, yeah.
Colon pause.
I was like,
Final
what
Nightmare.
the fuck's the name of this movie?
Yeah, no, it doesn't trip off the tongue.
Just doesn't roll out, yeah. Well, you mentioned it. It's time to see parental rape.
In many ways, like...
It's a different kind of horror that we've never really seen in the series before.
Yes, and this... It reminded me, both that, like we've never seen it this way before, or quite as close to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean that pun. That's sorry. I'm really sorry. There's no way to talk about this in a good way, so please,
Agreed.
Please forgive me.
It's okay. It's okay.
Assume all puns are
Forgive
unintended.
yourself.
Assume all puns in this next section are unintended, and then I'll get back to doing intentional puns that don't involve rape.
Yeah.
But it's the most sexual of the big three.
Yeah.
Franchises. Don't you think?
Just generally, I mean, like a lot of this series is sexual.
Yeah.
Freddy's a sexual kind of being.
Because it's not it's not sexual for Michael. It's not sexual for Jason.
Mm-hmm.
That we're aware of. At least, maybe it's subtext, but not on the surface.
Yeah.
But, straight in the first movie, you got the tongue coming out of the phone. You got the vagina hand in the bath.
Mm-hmm.
It's sexually coded from the... So, in a way, this is again, unintended pun, outgrowth of the...
Now that I'm going to hold against you.
of the series themes, but done in a way that it's like... You don't have that buffer of fantasy that you usually have.
Mm-hmm.
Because this isn't a dream, this is just a flashback.
Right.
I suppose this... Oh, no, actually, in Freddy vs. Jason, it's a sort of... It's still a flashback dream hybrid when the two counselors are fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's to do with Jason, not to do with the Freddy part of the movie. We can't talk about that anyway. But, I mean, also, but in terms of, like, adding to the terrible things that Freddy is, we've never talked about him being incestuous.
Right.
Or assumed he was doing this to other people's kids.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not saying that it's just straightforward, common or garden pedophilia, right? Which is bad.
Not good.
But to add incest onto that is and again, excuse the pun, hat on a hat. Oh, I'm glad that's over.
Yeah.
That was a close one.
Wait, it starts off as a flashback, but doesn't her father become Freddy?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see it as if it was really happening.
Right. You know that's
it's not a tongue
a
coming
real
out of
memory.
A phone,
right.
Right? Let's talk about Pepsi Cola instead. Feel a lot better.
I forgot to mention in our last episode that last scene with the picnic, I was like, man, last second Pepsi and Mountain Dew advertising.
This is Pepsi were the kings, weren't they? I mean, they produce an inferior cola, but they
really spent money on their product placement. Yeah.
Terminator 2. I mean, they got James Cameron to agree to begin his famous Steadicam shot with a shot of a Pepsi machine. This is the era. Product placement becomes naturalized within movies. Like it was always there.
Mm-hmm.
But usually big advertising hoardings or past the building with the billboard. But now it's sort of like the products that people consume, which traditionally used to be ersatz products.
Yeah.
You can now make a deal to get a name product in your movie, and Pepsi were the kings of that.
Agreed. There's this moment when he and Tracy are fighting, though, where I thought to myself, this is an interesting idea. I really wish this was more prevalent, like almost a centerpiece for the movie, because I can't remember what she says. She says something about, this is my power or whatever, because she can fight. But Freddy says, these are my rules. And he kind of turns the tables on her.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was an aspect of this movie in which they are trying to figure out how to use his rules against him,
yeah,
that would have been interesting.
That's what they do in Freddy vs. Jason, I think.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they guess what his rules are.
Right.
But they guess correctly, and they're able to use those against him.
Yeah, right.
Freddy's fire, Jason's water. How can we use that?
Amazing line.
Amazing line.
Wait a second.
This isn't just something that was said in the writer's room.
Yeah. Anyway, she burns herself going back to the original movie to wake herself up.
Well, also going back to the original movie, which, remembering all the failed ways we've killed Freddy, cutting off fingers.
Yeah.
So there's a callback there. So they are trying to do some nostalgia pulls here.
Definitely.
What you might call fan service, but I mean, within the framework of the final movie. Although, if you do this, you don't need that fucking montage at the end, but whatever.
Yeah, right.
One or the other situation. Either or.
This is the moment, too, where Yaphet Kotto tries to take care of business. He's got his alarm set, and he and Freddy are fighting, and he's beating him with a bat.
Yeah, and again, I guess this is also going back to the original movie of something that kind of, I don't know, did it just get muddied did dreams and reality just get muddied to the point that you couldn't do it? But pulling Freddy into the real world,
yeah, right, because he
was a
grabs
big thing
that
in the original movie, and now it is again.
swatch
in
of his
between,
sweater.
It's like you can't really do that either because he's, in a pool party, or or for various reasons, it doesn't work.
It does though, because she does grab him, but when she wakes up, well, we're not really quite there yet because we have the 3D thing.
It reminded me of Rise of Skywalker and the idea of pulling moving objects through space using the Force. I wonder if this was a pull.
I thought you meant the projection.
There's a projection in Rise of Skywalker.
Which one's that?
The
second one.
Last one.
Oh, I meant the second one.
Where he's a hologram all the way along. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no.
At any rate,
3D glasses.
She goes in with the 3D glasses.
We saw them on the nightstand, and now they're in the movie.
And now they're on her face. But not in the dream, because that would be weird.
And again, we talked about this in the ranking episode, but it's guessable as to where you put the 3D glasses on.
Yeah.
And also, I know movies appeal to the lowest common denominator in people, but if you're putting the 3D glasses on at the beginning of the movie and the movie doesn't look right, and you take them off and go, okay, that looks right now, wouldn't you be like, okay, I shouldn't have them on now?
Right.
And then when it starts looking weird, you go, I probably should have put them on.
I think I need these on.
I mean, that's kind of, it's less that people say, oh, it was a failure because they didn't know when to put the glasses on. It's like trusting the basic intelligence of humanity to go about their day without dying or getting beheaded.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, don't, this is the people for whom the, mind your head is written for on doors,
Agreed.
Anyway, I mean, what should they have literally said, put 3D glasses on now?
You have that setting the table of it as well, because the second she puts it on, what you see is her, and she's looking at her own hand that clearly is sticking out towards the audience. And then
that would have been such a great time to, like, if you'd seen the movie before and then you went to see it with other people, At that exact point, you just slap the person next to you in the face. That's what I would have done. You want to see this? I thought you'd already seen it. No, I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again. All right.
I've seen it 9 times. I've slapped 9 people.
And then I just started doing it to strangers because no one would go with me anymore.
Yeah.
And where are we in terms of? I'm always fascinated by this because, we've talked before about 3D is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a bad idea that keeps coming back again and again, and it has waves. Like, the 50s is the first big wave.
Yeah. Get some in the 80s.
80s, so this is 1991.
By then it had weaned, so it...
See, I remember this is maybe where our different upbringings...
Oh.
Because I remember, like, you get 3D glasses in cereal boxes.
Yeah.
I remember there was, like, television specials where you could watch in 3D with 3D glasses on. There was I don't know why this is so much about Doctor Who, but it is relevant. So
come on.
There was a telethon on TV called Children in Need. It was like a BBC telethon show. It was every year, and they would have all these kind of special versions of famous TV shows in it. And they did a mashup of British soap opera EastEnders with Doctor Who in 3D. It was called Dimensions in Time. And it was like all the doctors were kind of appearing. It was a little bit like the time loop in Dream Master. They were appearing in a time loop, and they kept turning into different doctors as they walked around Albert Square, which is where EastEnders takes place. Sorry,
Okay.
I had a mini stroke then.
Say it.
Don't start a tangent and then forget the specifics of the tangent. So, and that was 1992. I remember that specifically. It was 1992. So, yeah, and then obviously, like, some point in the early 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
But
2005 on, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to certainly have... Like, you can still see these movies in 3D, but it doesn't seem to be a priority anymore.
Like, most places just have one designated 3D theater screen now.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to me. Like, it's so Emperor's New Clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But it keeps happening...
over and over again.
Historically at regular intervals. And I'm like, I'm not confident we won't have another one in like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, there won't be movie theaters at that point, so
it'll all be
they
over.
won't exist. It'll be all over. It'll just be Alamo Draft House, and that's it. That's the only thing.
Right.
Like, only place where you can get served beer in your seat
and see
by waitresses.
Standing right in front of them. Is there anything else? Yeah, get the fuck out of the way.
I was so disappointed when I found out that GoldenEye was only being re-released to Alamo Draft Houses for its anniversary showing. So, closest place... I can't... I've already done an LA trip based around seeing a Bond movie. I can't do another one within the space of like a few weeks.
Well, the next thing I know, we're going inside of Freddy's 3D brain. And by the way, we didn't talk about this. I can't remember who he's talking to. Is it Yaphet Kotto that Freddy's talking to, where he gives the very clunky exposition about why he keeps not dying?
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
There's a point where he goes, the dream guys, they're the ones that told me I could keep coming back. And he clearly
Dream
is...
demons.
Yeah, the demons or whatever.
Well,
so he's talking,
but
he's
that's
talking
relevant
about
the next movie.
The 3 piranha fish.
But there's an equivalent in New Nightmare too.
There is.
He comes from the dream demons. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this is a part homology. A bit of. I know they're not piranhas in the next movie, but he's a dream demon in the next movie.
Yeah.
Who takes the form of Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're warming up to that here. They actually thought, oh, maybe that was if we're going to add something to the mythology, that's something we could explore.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I like about watching 3D sequences without 3D glasses is that, you know, the byproduct of that is you get some good depth of field filmmaking, which filmmakers are normally not interested in, so they don't do unless they have to do a 3D sequence.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a fun sequence anyway, without the... so, you know, the lack of 3D doesn't really harm it. It looks like a kind of Tim Burton fantasy sequence. Like the opening to Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. As ridiculous as it is, I gravitate towards it oddly.
Yeah, me too. More so than I do with most, like, you know, we obviously did Friday the 13th Part 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, you know, sort of like, yeah, it's enough already with the stuff you're doing stuff you're doing into the camera. This one doesn't irritate me quite as much. And maybe that's why they thought it was a failure, is they didn't take... But the trick is, like Hitchcock did with Dial M for Murder, you'll make a movie that will still work when it's not in 3D, that will still stand up. So I think that they ended up something like that.
Yeah.
How do the kids know about the 1,000 Maniacs?
Good question.
Especially if
they don't have anybody on research. Tell you that much.
Wouldn't he have erased that from history too?
Yeah. Yeah, right? And then we get another stunt casting.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's already... he's like part of two different slasher.
Michael.
Friday the 13th.
I mean, not Michael, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's... I think what both Friday the 13th and Nightmare are trying to recreate, that they're never going to recreate, is the opening of Halloween, the original Halloween. It's you start with the origin story of the killer. Both movies want to retrospectively get that and visualize it. But it doesn't happen organically in the way that you're never going to get it as organically, because, you know, the moment you pull that mask off the kid and you're like, that's your starting point of the franchise. Mm-hmm. They want that, but they're never going to get it. But nonetheless, they'll be like, okay, we're going to dredge out the origin story of our central killer. It's like, it might be too late for that to be effective.
I agree. And then on top of it, you've got Alice Cooper and, I don't know, some unknown Busey boy. He looks like an unknown Busey boy.
Isn't he a Children of the Corn?
No, I think that's a different actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But also, it's sort of, I don't know, there's this portion of me like that maybe the movies are defending and a fan of Freddy as much as you are, because we're supposed to feel sorry for him.
When you say you mean me specifically, don't you? You don't just say the general you. You're saying me.
No,
yeah. I have that exact same note that, you know, having him self-harming.
Yeah.
Again, it's like I don't need to identify with Freddy Krueger, certainly more than I do personally.
Right.
And you know, the fact that, you know, I just assume he's the product of a bad childhood.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to know the specific details.
I don't need the specifics. I just know that it happened.
Although I do, you know, someone should do that, like a serial killer who has like a completely normal childhood and then just one day decides to go killing people. That would be an interesting twist on it. Yeah.
Have you seen A Shock to the System, Michael Caine?
No. Where was that made?
Late 80s, I think. Maybe early 90s. You watch that movie.
Will I like it?
I think so.
Oh, interesting. Is he a serial killer?
Well, it speaks to what you were just saying. He kind of just sort of becomes one, almost.
I like him a lot.
Yeah. Well, so this is what I was going to refer to earlier, and I just said we weren't there yet, because she does grab him. They do the thing where they pull him out of the dream, but when they wake up, he's not right there, but he is out. He's just like, he's Freddie England.
Freddie England. Hey, I love it. Freddie England. Hello, Freddie England. I play for the Lancashire 11.
He does basically have the sweater on, so he is kind of Freddie England. And he's just sort of curled up in the ball somewhere else.
He's like a secret agent, Freddie England.
Yeah, but they have to go. They go weapon eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one part where I thought, oh well, now that one part of the scene at the very beginning when he was like, "Here's the pipe bomb from Brecken. There's so many weapons here. I don't even know what to do." And she was like, "Well, go put it down in the room." I was like, "Hey, they brought up something that mattered later."
Yeah.
Chekhov's gun is gonna go off.
Well, you got Chekhov's 3D glasses as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and this whole sort of the dream demons, making him a slave to the dream demons.
When he's about to get burned, right?
It's kind of similar to when we found out Jason wasn't a slasher killer, but the possessed slave of a turd worm.
Yeah.
So I think, this is when series start to take these left turns in mythology. They're kind of running out of ideas, running out of steam. They also want to do something new at the same time. They've got a limited framework in which to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It all kind of makes sense on that level. Yeah, it's interesting. I have made a similar point to you. Like, the weapons in the real world are being used like they would be in any other slasher.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like the horror USP of this series is kind of gone.
Right.
You can just pursue him like you would Michael or Jason.
Yeah, right.
Or Leatherface.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ghostface.
Maniac Cop.
It sounds so made up, yet I know it's an actual thing.
Yep.
I love it. Snagglepuss.
Diabolical, that fucking Snagglepuss. But this is where I put, I have a note about the limitations of their desire to have 3D, because they have to edit this throwing knives right at Eddie in a way that looks so stilted and disjointed, but it's all for the effect of the 3D.
Well, they said it was a literal nightmare, didn't they?
Yeah,
because of the putting the cameras have to be at exactly the right position,
right?
So it like triples the amount of time you're spending on any one shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's all for naught because most people are not going to watch this in 3D,
right?
In the future, you think it's 1991? You'd think they'd know by
they'd
now.
know that, right? Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely. It's literally. It's crazy that 3D can still pull the wool over people's eyes.
Right. And it's funny because Freddy's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we're killing Freddy. Like, we're announcing that we're going to kill Freddy.
It's Freddy's dead, .
Oh, that's right. Freddy's dead, . God damn it.
Now, what you said is what it should have been, but
Yeah.
it ain't.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what
man.
it's not. I know. Yeah. You can't start with Freddy's dead.
Right. Well, so the thing
Never
is
start a
like,
sentence
what's
with a
funny to
preposition.
me, yeah, what's funny to me is that this is the least believable way they've ever killed Freddy. It seems like they have the right idea. Put Freddy's glove on someone else, let them stab him, and then blow him up, Jaws 3D style.
Yeah, we both have that note, as we said earlier, yeah.
And then I love that I love that the prehistoric piranha demons come out and they're all kind of laughing. They're like, yeah, well, like, we're finally rid of him, maybe? I don't know what's going on there.
My exact note, similar to what you said, innately comic demon.
Yeah, right.
They weren't demons meant to be taken seriously.
Weird.
Yeah, and so I think maybe more the problem is not when do I know when to put the glasses on, do I know when to take them off? Because when his head explodes, I'm like, I was probably supposed. He's like, I probably would have taken my 3D glasses off by this point. I didn't know that we were still supposed to be doing this. But I guarantee you, I am when it explodes into the screen that way.
Oh, I thought the opposite. I would have had them on still.
Yeah. Well, also we're going to the well of something we've seen in the other two franchises too. It's like the innocent relative of the killer becomes seduced into being a new version of the killer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got the Daniel Harris kind of
Mm-hmm.
and all the stuff in the Buttworm movie with him turning into him getting
Different
swallowed.
killers.
Yeah, the rabid worm, not rabid, Shivers worm goes into the
Yeah.
mouth and they become killers. So, they go down that well too. I like that, he attempts the tongue kiss, but she fights back.
Right.
So it's like, there's a, again, maybe this because a woman is directing it. It's like, she does, we don't have to, we've seen
Well, she seems the aggressor, too. She kisses him goodbye, I think. Kind of like, fuck you,
Yeah.
Dad.
She is this why she's called Tracy, as a tribute to Tracy in On Her Majesty's Secret Service?
Of course, Tom.
Fighting back. Yeah. In my head, it is true.
Well, I know we have a kind of greatest hits recap throughout our
well, the last line
but...
of the movie. The last line of the movie is
yeah,
important.
Yeah.
In fact, it's the whole reason for making the movie. Because there's no jump scare, there's no twist.
Right.
She says Freddy's dead. Cut to credits.
Done.
So they had. I really think they do had good intentions to round out the series. I think they would have.
No, I do too. Yeah.
I think it would have been like Freddy's dead, and then we hear a scraping or something.
Yeah.
So no teaser for another movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then a clips package.
Along with a credit check?
It's a combination of absolutely. A combination of what Friday does at the beginning of their movies and what Stallone does at the end of his franchise. We do the greatest hits kills, but we also have the kind of working through of the story. Including, of course, the current movie you're watching, which you don't need to see any clips of because you just watched it.
Because you just saw it.
Yeah. Electricians. Jim Tomcat Downing. Grips. Kevin Killer Smith. Now, these are the nicknames of a predator and a murderer. So, I don't know if these are nicknames as much as indictments.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this before. This John and Lynn Buechler, part of the special makeup effects.
Yeah, they are.
I probably our most recurrent crew artists for this podcast. They probably worked on more of the films we've done than anyone has. Yeah. Apart from that guy, that was like a caterer who did all the Mission Impossible movies.
Right.
Same caterer. Speaking of caterers, Coast to Coast Catering. That doesn't bode well for the freshness of the food served if it's come from a whole other coast. The only note of uncertainty that Freddy is not actually dead comes from the lyrics of the Iggy Pop song in the closing theme. There's like lyrics about how he might come back again.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
Yeah. There's an R.I.P. in here. Oh yeah, it says so. It's R.I.P. right? It says for Freddy. There's an R.I.P. for Freddy, and then it goes to a jazzy song as if it's like a New Orleans funeral. And it's interesting because this is where it's like, final is always a lie, and it will turn out to be a lie.
Sure. But
this is going above and beyond to like stab his corpse and go, look, he's dead. Okay, he's dead. He ain't coming back.
And they don't even wait that long. It's a regular interval of 3 years between this and New Nightmare, which is sort of the regulated number of years between sequels.
Yeah. Effects editors, Richard Burton. Now, I know this movie features dead people, but I didn't realize that was behind the scenes as well. Re-recordists, Walter A. Guest, Greg G. Guest.
Oh my.
And I like this because they're both related and have different middle initials. And one of the middle initials, Walter A. Guest, works as a joke too. Like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Jack Harvey, Bob Harvey, Rupert Harvey. What did the Harvey family have to do with this?
Yeah,
Who are the Harveys?
I've never heard of the Harveys before.
3 of them have been thanked.
All right.
And that's it.
All right.
So that's the end of this series. So no more episodes on Nightmare, right?
If only.
Oh, okay. They make another one?
Yeah, in short order. But worth it.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. The next 2 movies is a real in terms of this is the end of the series proper, as I see it.
Yeah, me too.
But the next 2 movies the series really bounces back from the previous 2.
Absolutely.
In terms of quality, they're just side projects under the banner of Nightmare.
Yeah, right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. They're spin-offs.
Yes. Well, we'll get to them when we get to them, but for now, you're going to have to tell us what you think of this movie, everyone. I'm going to have to turn that page to remember this title.
Oh, no, really? Still?
So, if you're going to tell it, I keep wanting to swap them somehow. Yeah, invert. Tell us what you think of Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Do all the things that you do on the books and the grams and the threads and the X's and the blue skies and nothing else. Right?
Not that I can think of.
Phew. Professional.
You said pro like bro.
Yeah.
I'm a professional.
I'm a pro, bro.
I'm a pro, bro.
All right. Well, I admit you didn't like it a fair amount for me to not go nuts.
Never said I did. I mean, I don't know who you've been talking to, but it ain't me.
I just don't see why you like it more than that.
I've given you the reason multiple times. It clawed back a little bit of the fear and the anxiety in the dream
that's not
sequences.
true. None of that's true.
Well, that's what I believe. This things I believe.
Oh no, map dream.
having that. Oh no, I had that map dream again last night. The map was everywhere.
Or send an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com. All right. Yeah, that's it for this. When you hear us next, we'll be talking Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Quality movie.
Yeah, we both agree on that. It's the same in our list again, isn't it? Like, it's both third on our list, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yours not fourth?
No.
Okay.
Because I put Dream Master first.
4, 3, new.
4, 3, new, 2. Yeah.
No, you have 2 below Freddy versus Jason.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Oh, yes, I do. I do, yeah.
Don't tell me no, you don't.
Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that was a mistake.
I'll say.
We'll see. We'll see how I feel after. I might re-rank after we discuss Freddy versus Jason.
All right, then.
So, you've got room for maneuver.
Well, yeah, so new Nightmare when you hear us next. Look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. For Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions, Michael Shantz here of the How Dare You Awards. Say goodbye to everybody, Tom.
No screaming while the bus is in motion. my Freddy Krueger's starting to turn into Tom Waits. No screaming while the bus is in motion. It's just another drop in the ocean.
Small change.
Is that like your one Tom Waits reference?
Yep.
Great, that's a great song.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody.